जितेन सर स्टार्ट करिए. Okay, so good
One second,
afternoon
one
to.
second, one second.
Okay, okay. Good afternoon to all the participants. I welcome all the participants in today's session about green building. Also, I would like to welcome our today's speaker, Dr. Krupesh Chauhan, on behalf of Parul Polytechnic Institute, Parul University. Welcome, sir. To give the quick introduction about him, I would like to say that he has working as a professor in SUNIT Surat, also coordinator of UBA. He completed his PhD and awarded with Merit Medal from South Gujarat chapter. Without wasting much time, I would like to start our today's session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Chandni Madam. So once again, welcome to webinar, and we are glad you are here. So today's webinar, the title is Green Building Way Forward. So I would like to thank UBSL, Parul Polytechnic Institute, Parul University, and moderator Unnati Shah and Chandni Shah. So today I am going to cover introduction, building, building green fundamentals, building principles, and there are two type of principle. One is engineering principle, second one is architect principle. But today we are more focusing on green building, and that is green building principle. At the end, we will see rating system. Then nowadays, we are looking for technology, so we will cover softwares and the reference material. So whenever we start something, so we have to do brainstorming. And when we talk about sustainability, the sustainability is the environment friendly, holistic, integrated, comprehensive, and smart and green. So these are the different words which are associated for any kind of planning. So when we look planning, we will look for sustainable. And now at the end, another words, and that is the most common word or at present we are learning, that is green. So the building planning principle is the arrangement of various components of building unit in a systematic manner. So here in planning, we are keeping all the space and we do the arrangement of different subunit of the building in meaningful and homogeneous dwelling made with function and purpose. So let us we start with the National Building Code. And this National Building Code is the Gita for all the civil engineers. And this is the code, presently it is revised in 2016. And they have incorporated the definition. Any structure for whatsoever the purpose and of whatsoever the material constructed and every part of their whether used as a human habitation. But this definition is hold to good for NBC. But government have a different project. And at present, government is working on housing for all. So in housing for all, this project, they have added one more definition. And they added every building must have WC, electric network, and approach road. It means they have covered different supporting facility for any building. And they wanted housing for all. It is a complete project. WC, electricity, and approach road. So these are the government drive in different segments. And WC is connected with the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, electricity. We know that Ujjwala Gram Yojana, approach road is a Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. Means every building should be have a basic facility. And if you refer the definition of building, so the minimum area of any building unit that is 18 square 18 square meter, and the width is less than 3 meter. It means the minimum size of building room is 3 meter by 6 meter. And at present, RERA is going on. So in this RERA, they have covered the different definition at national level. So, and we civil engineer, we must know the technical term, rules, regulation, building bylaws, law, act, unauthorized construction, illegal construction. But at present, Gujarat government has produced a one document, that is GCDCR, Gujarat Comprehensive Development Control Regulation, in which they have addressed Korwal city, Gamtal area, Gamtal extended, and other than Gamtal area. So these are the development area, and it is referred as a D. So green building definition, if we go with, so the definition of building, it is covered with the structure and application of process that are environmentally responsible and resource efficient throughout the building life cycle, from planning of design, construction, operation, maintenance, and renovation and demolition. It means from day one to entire life of building. So this definition covered life cycle of entire building. So when we pursue and when we start a thought for any building, and at the end of the building life, we have to think in totality. So generally we consider building life is 60 years, 70 years. And to complete this building, again, we require 2, 3 years. So we have to think in totality. So our thinking process must going on for 75 years. And when we talk about green building, we should think about the biodiversity. And this biodiversity is, we have to think it's strong from one or two words, biological and diversity. It's referred to all various of life on the earth. Species diversity, genetic diversity, ecosystem diversity, important for natural sustainability for all life. So here we have to think for all. Every uh, creature of the nature that we have to see. So that is the concept of the green. So, and generally whenever we come in the green, so we are looking for forest. And you see the figure, facts and figures. So the forest, they are the lungs of the earth. And at present, total coverage of forest is 31%. Now you see this figure on the screen, 1985, 74% coverage is there. But after the passage of time, 220, now the entire coverage is only 13%. So deforestation is take place, and we have worked like anything. So forest cover at present is 20.55. But at present, looking to the entire scenario, at least minimum we require 33% of coverage, green coverage. So gap is 12.45. So every year we have to increase 1.36% of the area as a green coverage. Then we think about the green building, and when we think about the green building, we should know the pollution and the cause and effect of each pollution: air pollution, water pollution, noise pollution, land pollution, and radioactive pollution. And all this pollution that effect on the human health. So we have to protect our nature so we can go for green. Then whenever we talk about green, then we have to think about the our population. So India is growing like anything. So we are overpopulation. Initially in 2019, the as per UN data, 130 crores. So At present, we are round about 135 crores by 2020. So overpopulation means poverty, illiteracy, illegal migration, and the effect is unemployment, decreased productivity, increased cost, inequality between income distribution. So these are the ill effect of the population. So in this scenario, we have to think about the green, and through green we can go with some solution. And when we talk about the green disposal, at present 70 to 80% waste collection is there. But whatever we are collecting, just we are dumping in the landfill site. And every year we require 1240 hectares per year. So huge space is required. And you just refer the figure, and Delhi, the height of solid waste management site, it is just below the 8 meter of the Qutub Minar. So these are the problems. So that's why the sensitive people, they come together, and that they say that we go for some conference, we go for some mitigation, and we can find out some solution. And that is the brainstorming was started in 1995, and that is Berlin first conference is conducted for this purpose. And 21st Paris, 12 December 2015, they decided that at least now we have to work for this all these parameters. And out of 197, 180 parties have ratified that they have identified these are the problem. So that's why the photo is a historical photo, and it is known as the COP, means Conference of Parties for 21 meetings. And they identify the 2 degrees Celsius temperature limit for next century. Means temperature is rising due to all this effect. And that is, we know the best word, or the word we are familiar with, global warming. And they decided that at least we want to reduce something, and they have identified 17 goals, and these are the goals known as a Paris Agreement, green building, and sustainable goal. So if you see the all these 17 goals, so how to go with? So being a civil engineer, our focus on 11, and that is sustainable and commercial building. So here our goal number 80, 11, we are focusing more. And while we handle this goal number 11, we will deal with goal number 6, goal number 7, and goal number 8. And through this, through building, we can manage all these uh, goal, and we can go ahead. And then they club all these 17 goals are clubbed, and they found that there are different segments. And when we go for 17, so they have clubbed in 9 numbers. And you see in every goal that at the top is a building. So through building, we are going to find out some solution. And that solution we know as a green solution. So we will work upon the building, and through building, we can minimize the global warming. And green building fundamentals are nothing but it is a nearness to environment, nearness to ecology, nearness to ecosystem. And evaluation tool measure environment performance of green building through its life cycle. So now, as a way forward, we have to think about for total life of the building. So here parameters, planning parameters, design parameters, construction parameters, operation parameters, even maintenance and retrofittation. So being a civil engineers, we should address all 6 segments, and slowly I will cover each one and how to address this point so we can make our building green. Then these are the different countries around the world. They have decided that now we have to go for green, and we will work for sustainable planning. So these are this, and for our purpose, India is there. So green building versus conventional building. So when we compare with 2 building, and then we feel that whether What is the difference between two building? So green building simply have a competitive edge in terms of cost, effectiveness, marketability, and all over maintenance efficiency. Through green building, one can achieve a range of global goals such as addressing climate change, create sustainability, training community, and driving economical growth. So green building, if you see conventional building and you see the green building, aesthetically both are same. The use is same. But what is the difference? Difference is through green building we conserve the natural resources and we can have a more comfort, and that is the indoor environmental quality. And overall through green building we can save our operation cost. So these are the few photographs of green building. Then this is the building in SVNID campus, library building, and at present we have planning. We have done the planning for library building, so we can say as a green field project. And here we have studied the optimum life cycle cost and sustainable saving criteria. So at least when we go for green building, we can save energy from 30 to 50%, and we can save water from 20 to 30%. So this is the photograph of SVNIT library building as a greenfield project. And this is the, there are two type of benefit when we go for green building. Tangible benefit that can be clearly seen, and another is intangible benefit, and that is difficult to describe. So there are two type of benefit we can get it through this. So in environmental point of view, reduce impact on the environment, and health point of view is enhance the health of occupant comfort. So these are the example of in Chennai, and this is the world-class standard and procedure through this building was made. Then let us we go ahead with the building principle and engineering point of view. So when we deal with planning as a civil engineer and as a part of our course, so we learn engineering principles. These are the aspect, prospect, privacy, again privacy, external privacy, internal privacy, then grouping, luminous factor, sanitation, flexibility, communication, and partial consideration. So these are the principles. They are really strongly we are familiar as a civil engineer when we plan for the building. So let us we go with the engineering principle, and we should learn the sun path diagram, and that is the orientation. Orientation means we are taking maximum care of the nature, sunlight, wind, rainfall, humidity, that we will consider in orientation. So we will keep our building in such a way that we can protect our building from this natural agency. And when we talk about the sunrise and sunset, so these are the phenomena is not happen, but we consider that sun is rising. Otherwise, sun is at its own place and earth is moving around this. But to digest this subject, we will consider sun is rising in east. But sun rising in east, that is there, but maximum on 14 January, it is towards south. So sun rising from southeast quadrant and maximum towards south. And when at that time sun set in southwest direction, and again it is a towards south. So this is the time is known as a winter. So when we want to define as a civil engineer what is winter, so sunrise and sunset maximum towards the south. And this winter, that area, and when we talk about this through this diagram, so they are the all-time sun path. And when we talk about the summer, so summer sunrise and summer sunset is towards north, and the angle which is towards north, that is no sun, no sun. Means if we keep our building on that area, we are not getting any sunlight directly on our building. So Looking to this orientation diagram, looking to the sun path diagram, we have to check where we can place door window so we can get maximum daylight. Then building principle, architect point of view, an architectural point of view to enhance our building aesthetically. So these are the architect principle: composition, scale, proportion, rhythm, transparency, articulation, expression. So these are the words, and these are the very fundamental principle. One, if applied properly, we can get good elevation of our building. And building is known for its elevation. And generally in public building, they are is the icon of entire city. And that's why many times all the building we keep in skyline of the city. And when you keep your building skyline of the city, they are the most important building for their city. So that's why we have to look all these architect principle. Now, way forward in green building principle, we will consider sustainable architecture and design, site selection planning, water efficiency, energy efficiency, building material, indoor environmental quality, and innovation and development. So now we have learned engineering principle, we have go through the architect principle. Now here you just refer the seven principle of green building. They are starting from sustainable architect, means from planning to at the end innovation and development. So all the segment of life cycle is covered. So we have to see the uh, overall, and in totality we have to complete the principle. So let us one by one we will go through how it's helped in green concept. So first principle of green building is site selection. So our site selection, and there are some consideration we have to check. So first we have to think about the local building regulation, soil erosion and control, basic amenities, proximity to public transportation, low emission vehicle, natural topography. So these are the point I have listed. They are the part of site selection. And if we keep our site properly select and we go with these parameters, definitely we achieve the first segment perfectly. Then second segment is sustainable architectural planning and design. So first parameters is the parameters where we can locate our building. Now once we have find out our location of building, then how to go ahead and to complete entire project we require a huge team. And team, if we narrate down this, then architect, engineers, energy modeling, then facility manager, general contractors, green building consultant, inventor designer, landscape architect, and then map consultant, project manager, structural consultant. So there are so many people are required to complete this entire project. So here the coordination of all these we can derive the and there are parameters, that is topography, water body, existing tree, natural rock, climate responsive, positive cooling, heating technology. So these are the point which have addressed by entire team. So this is the second segment of green building principle. Now I will take a case study of SUNIT Surat. And this is the first figure on left hand side is a civil engineering department of SUNIT Surat. And we have checked whether this building is climate responsive building, and then we have checked the alignment of the building. So the longer axis or the major axis of civil department is not exact east, it is inclined towards north, and that is 15-degree tilt towards north. And then we have checked the entire building with sunpath diagram, we have checked with the daylight factors, and then we have checked the natural ventilation. And exactly opposite to this, so one more building, that is ADM building, is perpendicular to this axis. And again we have checked for the ADM building, and our research is going on, and we have derived so many parameters, and we learn how this building conceived in 1961, and at present we at 2020 with all this software and all the green knowledge we have we have checked the performance of the building. Then again we have checked the envelope and fenestration. So when we check through the sun path diagram, we can identify the component of the building. So from where the building can get more heat through through wall or through the ceiling, and that is known as a from top slab, and which kind of weather shade we can go for. So it is totally depend upon the sun path diagram. And to protect our building from the direct light or direct heat, we have to check the sun path diagram, and that is the best tool of green building software, so we can check our entire envelope. So I strongly recommend for any building when we go for greenfield project, we should check. Even we can check the existing building and we can provide some remedy so we can save the energy. Then third part of the green building principle, we have to save water. And we are aware that at present 2.5% fresh water is available, and the whatever fresh water is available, out of this the zero point 0.4 is surface water. And how to conserve, how to preserve this water? So again, domestic and landscaping maximum consumption water is there, and nowadays we have AC, so AC is also consuming the water. So at present, as per the green guideline, we have to save 1 day rainfall, 3% to 9%, 9.5% of peak rainfall that we have to conservation in our campus. And wastewater treatment through live living plant. So here through living plant, when we treat the water, we never want any electricity, and it's the best green innovative technique through which we can treat our wastewater. And water metering is also required. Once we meter is means we measure it, and once we measure it, we can find out the quantity analysis, and we can make some measurement for consumption. And here on this screen, I have given the three example, and through which we can purify or we can treat our water through living plant. Then I want to cover one example of water. And there are many water available, and when we receive water at our home through borehole, through bottle, packed drinking water, Surat Municipal Corporation water, RO water, mineral water, alkaline water, detoxic water. So these are the different names associated with the water. And the example of Kohli and the water which is drinking by the Kohli, it is costly affairs. And if you the cost is round about 500 rupees per bottle, and the highest cost of the water bottle, that is 60,000 per 750 ml. So Aqua di Cristallo Tripto Modigili. So you just this word you keep in Google, and you will find that the cost of this bottle in Indian rupees is 41 lakh per 750 milliliter. So it's the highest. So it is not called as a water, it is known as a amrut. So, and these are the pack drinking water. So it is a misguide by many people. We believe that bottled water are the mineral water, but you just go through the Supreme Court guideline, and it is proved that these are not mineral water. They are the packed water, and nowadays they are keeping this title on every bottle. If you just refer the wrapper, so it is a packed drinking water. So these are the jargon which is used by the marketing, and nowadays many private players they come in this water um, uh, this water business, and they sell their product like anything. But we engineers, we should think about the pH value, and pH value 6.5 to 8.5 is a good water. Then how one save the water? So we can save the water through different type of fixtures. So now we have to think about the fixtures with aerators or push type of tap. So we can save the water. Then WC, water closet, full flush, 6 liters is required. But if we go for half flush, so we can consume 3 liter. And nowadays there are different type of tank available for water closet. And we can save at least every flush, we can save 3 liter water. And for bath, if we do bath through bucket, we can consume 20 to 40 liter. But if we take the shower, then we can save 10 to 20 liters. So half water we can manage entire thing. So my best study is said that plumbing system, through plumbing system we can go for circular economy. So whatever we use the water, that should be collected as a gray water, as a yellow water, as a black water, and then we give some treatment, and that water can be used, can be recycled, and we can use once again. And then again, water is required for landscaping. So green building principle. So which kind of plant we go for? So generally, we always canvassing that we go for native plant. So native plant is a very good plant, and they are supported by the nature. An exotic tree. So these are not from our region. So we borrow from some other place, and then we try to plant in our area. So their growth and their it is required so much maintenance and care required. So that's why we go for native plant. And native plant means bird can make their stay, and that is उसको कहते हैं कि घोंसला बनाया. अगर बर्ड्स ने वो प्लांट एक्सेप्ट किया तो वो नेटिव प्लांट है. And even we can go for palm family. So they are the drought tolerance. So with minimum water, they can survive in our nature. So always we go for native plant, and maximum we go for drought or adaptive plant. Then which kind of irrigation system we have to make? So sprinkler is again consume more water. So nowadays people are talking about the drip irrigation. And through the technology development, we have moisture sensor. So as per the site requirement, we can adopt the system which minimize or which reduce the demand of irrigation water. Then fourth parameters of green building principle is energy efficient. And energy efficient, and you see the figure of our Mother Earth in 1885, 1894 is a bluish figure. And nowadays you just see the figure 2005 and 2015 is a radius kind of figure. So energy consumption breakout, if I give the break up of building, so building 57% energy consumption by air condition. And second one is area light, then miscellaneous equipment and ventilation. Fan consume 5% energy. So these are the different segment we can plan for our building. Then we have to think about, when we think about the energy, we should think about the orientation. Then we have to think about the building planning with envelope measurement. Envelope is nothing but combination of wall, glazing, fenestration, shading, skylight, and roof. Envelope means outer screen of our building. So they are the wall, window, and top slab. Then equipment and system, and at present we are maximum using air condition, lighting, pumps, motor. So these are the equipment we have to go with the 3-star rating or 4-star rating. Then entire building should be controlled through BMS system, temperature, humidity, we can control. And then commissioning of additional, that is maintenance and ventilation. So heat gain, generally wall gain 3% heat, glazing is heat gain 55%, and internal gain, light, people, computers, so they produce 26%. And through roof, we have received roof through, that is 16%. And heat transfer, we should learn the radiation, conduction, and convection. So these are the different form of heat transfer from outside to inside, and our internal heat remain inside. So if we learn this parameter or phenomena, we can save energy. So let us one by one, we will see the how we can deal with our building so we can save the energy. So first we will talk about the envelope measurement. So whenever we plan the building, so we have to think about the building material, and especially nowadays glazing is a very important because for commercial building and we are using so much glass, so judicially we have to use the glass. And if you want to use this glass, again we have to check the sun path diagram, and direction wise we can go for maximum glass towards north, and we are minimize the glass on the south. And again, if you want to use the glass, nowadays good glass are available, and we should check the specification of glass, that is low U value, low shading coefficient, and high ULT, visual light transmission. So that we have to check before we finalize the glass. And we can check this glass and life cycle cost. Then we can select good glass for our envelope. Then heat flow through window. So maximum window have a glass. So we seen that 55% heat gain through window. So that's why we have to check these parameters, how the heat transfer from outside to inside. Then we can save energy, and we can think about the envelope. So it is observed that the saving potential of through orientation of entire building is 1%. AAC wall means ericated AC block. So we can save 3 to 6%. If we go for brick wall, and that is 75 extracted polystyrene insulation, so that is 3 to 8%. High albedo roofing material 2 to 3%. And nowadays people are way forward for roof garden, and roof garden is a very good solution, and we can save 1 to 2% energy in our building. And if we choose proper glass with low U glass, so we can save 6 to 8% thermal break and roof insulation. So overall one can save 21% to 36% through these parameters. So at least we should go for judicially so we can save the energy. Then, looking to the green building principle, we can save entire building through building management system and in construction management technology. So this software is very good. They can handle all the operation part of each and every electronics gadget or AC. So through this picture, we can control entire building, and that is the best technique nowadays available through software. Then as a planner we should think about how to plan the lighting. So first of all we have to think about where we can place our lighting, and that is planning parameters we have to focus first. So light is required through wall, through ceiling, so we have to identify the location of the lighting point. If it is required on wall, you keep point on wall. If it is required on ceiling, you can keep on ceiling. So planning of lighting point is very much required. Then we have to choose proper fixtures. And nowadays in market, varieties of fixtures are available. So you choose as per the activity in the room. So in case of bedroom, we require normal light, but in case of study room, we require little light higher. So keeping to this, all these parameter in mind, and here I have shown some lights which are direct light, indirect light, semi-indirect light, semi indirect lights, and diffusing light. So we have to choose the fixtures very judicially. And then for public building, for passage, we can go for automation. And at present in civil engineering department, we have kept some fixtures. So any moment is there, then they illuminate 100%. Otherwise, they will on for 20% light consumption. So we can save 80%. And at the end, if you feel that now we can't save any light, so for remaining unit requirement, we can go for production. And if you produce the light or power which required for our building, it is known as a net zero building. So, and we generate our power which we require. So it is also known as a grid-free building. Or if we, on this concept, we plan our entire campus, it is known as a grid-free campus. So means whatever our requirement, so judicially we plan in such a way we can save 20-30%. And for remaining light, we produce in our campus or our building. So that is the best concept of green building principle. Then we look into the global condition, and that is the global warming. So 2016, I'm talking about the our India. So in 2016, 263 lakhs AC are there. Then 2019, 305 lakhs AC. So 15% AC increase per year. And now you see we are talking about the elevation of building, but here if you see the elevation of building, only we can see AC instrument. And some people, they don't afford the AC or car, so they go for on bike, and that is in our Gujarat it is called as a jugaad. So some people, they have to do this, but as an engineer we can save something, and we can deal with our mother nature. So if you see the AC 1 ton energy consumption, and we talk about 8 hours operation time, so 28 to 30 kilowatt is required per day. So that is 2019 scenario. So if we talk about after 2050, so huge energy is required. So we have to plan from today, so we can address 2050. Then green building principle. So building material, and always in green building principle, we have to use same material. So, and we go for green pro material, sustainable building material, use certified green building material, then handling waste material during construction. So nowadays, this construction waste is a central government guideline and Supreme Court guideline that we have to manage properly. Otherwise, they are going to stop all the civil engineering activity in city. So that's why solid waste management is equally important. But as a civil engineer, we should think about the civil waste management. So these are the civil waste management we have to handle properly. So through proper management of material, we can save the green environment. Then third one is indoor environmental quality. So indoor environmental quality and the best parameters or enhanced indoor environmental parameter is comfort, performance, well-being of occupant. And if we focus on these three parameters, we can increase the efficiency of human being. And if we work efficiently, we can produce good result. And if they are not in proper position, the syndrome is dry eyes, dry throats, headache, dry skin. So these are the different problem, asthmatic problem. So always we go for good indoor environment quality, which enhance the productivity to 5 to 15%. So nowadays, all the projects, they are very much conscious for indoor environmental quality, because this is the direct tool to deal with the human comfort. And being a civil engineers, we always provide maximum comfort to our users. So that's why the this parameters is one of the best green building principle. Then how to produce oxygen. So the research is going on, and as per the research and as per the prevailing condition, we can go for indoor plant, and through indoor plant we can enhance the oxygen level of the our building. And human being 80% time is indoor, Means we are staying in our home, we are staying in our office, or we are staying in our car or metro. So they are the indoor environment, and we spend 80% time in indoor. It may be building, it may be home or office, it may be metro or car. So how to increase the oxygen level? And at Delhi, I met the architect uh, Kamal Mittal and Buren Agrawal. So they have made their office as a green office, and they have go for areca plant, mother-in-law tongue plant, and money plant. And same plant I have kept at my office at SVNIT Surat, and we have changed the office as a laboratory, and we are checking whether the oxygen level is increasing or decreasing, and we found a very good result through this plant. So Areca, 3 number of plant per person, mother-in-law tongue, 3 plant per person, and money plant, 3 number per one person. If I consider my office, I am individual is a office, so I require 333, means 9 plants are required, and that is very much required to increase the oxygen level. And due to COVID position, everybody are looking for oxygen level. So through oxygeometer, we can check the oxygen level. Then in green building principle, they have canvassing for innovation and development. So always innovations are welcome. And young engineers, civil engineers, they are always looking for innovation. And always development are always welcome. So in this photograph, so we can manage the waste, and through waste we can manufacture the bench. And first figure at top, it is a how to degrade the biological waste. So that is the biodegrade is a kitchen waste we can treat in this drum. So again, we will get rating points, as well as we can save or we can manage our waste inside the campus or inside the building. So that's the why we require way forward, because we know the entire mechanism, technique, tools, but we have to implement on the site. And that's why 3P theory is very much popular. That is people, planet, and profit. So we plan for people, and we have to think about the planet. And profit means we save, our saving is our profit. So that's why here government organization, industry, corporate sector, private sector, academic institute, and entrepreneur. So they come together and they talk about the people, they talk about the planet, and they think about the profit. So here I always welcome the brainstorming, and brainstorming is always required to have a good output. So my entire today's conversation is we have to check how much we have done. So that's why the rating system is developed. And in rating system, baseline is made through National Building Code, Energy Conservation Building Code, Renewable Energy Certificates, MOIF Guideline, Uniform Building Code of India, CGWBG, that is the CPCBG. So Central Government Water Board and Central Pollution Control Board. So these are the basic guidelines they have given. And if we maintain this guideline, surely we can plan our building as a green. Then there are players to measure our building as a green. So leadership in energy and environmental design, they founded in 1983, and they have 5 major rating system, and they also measure our building, and they certified as a platinum, gold, silver, and certified. So lead is a one of the player, they check the rating of the building. Then second player is a GRIHA, green rating for integrated habitat assessment, and they give the star rating. So single star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, and 5 star. And their manual, Griha manual, is available on website. So we can refer, we can check, and we can identify, we can check existing building and identify the gray area, and that gray area we enhance and we can get the our building rating system as a green. Then at present we have checked our library building in Surat with Griha rating. So SUNIT is funded by central government, and central government follow the Griha rating. So we have checked the location of building, then the location of building with respect to entire campus, and we have identified which location is best location for all the users. Then we identify the plot, and in second figure, in given plot, we have identified the built-up area. So once built-up area is identified, then we have checked with the sun path diagram. Then we have checked with the orientation, and we have checked with the green space around this. Then for every floor, which activity we can go for, and on which side we can provide the service, so our heat gain we can minimize. And at the end, this is the outcome of the library building. So I learned so many things while when we plan this project in SUNIT. Then rating system by IGBC, Indian Green Building Congress. And if you want to practice Indian Green Building Congress, you have to go for examination. And that examination is known as a IGBC AP. AP means accredited professional. So you clear this exam and you can practice for rating of IGBC. And IGBC has given 24 different rating systems and very good compilation of all the principle for 24 kind of project, and they are giving the certificate as a certified silver, gold and platinum, and they celebrate this function through this given this plate. So IGBC, they have their own website. One can check all this reference material, and we can learn through this webinar and seminar. And this is the 2001 first building of the India, star rating by building of BEE, Ministry of Power and Government of India. So that is the Godrej building in Hyderabad. And 2020, now this building is Energy Plus building. So all the innovation and research and development, they are carried out, and they have very sound technical team, and they always promoting green building. Then IGBC initially 2001, 20,000 square feet they have started. At present, 7.1 billion square feet they have rated, and round about 5,818 green projects by 2020. So huge changing, and people are come forward to have their own project as a green building. Then at present CPWD, they have also come in picture, and now CPWD has given the guideline for their own building. And these three volumes, CPWD guideline for sustainable habitation, integrated green building design, and green building rating manual. So my humble request is you go through these three documents, and it is all documents are very well made by all the experts. And integrated green design is a very fantastic material, and that is addressed for hot dry climatic zone. So I request all the students, although people are interested in green building, you refer all this uh, reference material, and it is easily available on website. Then at present, one more player is a GEM. GEM means Green and Eco-Friendly Movement. And this rating system is made by Associate Chamber of Commerce and Industry of India. And if you want to practice this, then you have to appear for examination GEM AP. And if you clear this examination, you can practice for this. And to clear this examination, this booklet is available on website. You just read it, and then you appear for examination. And they provide the rating certificate GEM 1, GEM 2, GEM 3, GEM 4, and GEM 5. So these are the different players. They are in the market and they are working for green building. Then the most uh, asked question, a student are looking for which software one can use. So ECBC, that is the Energy Conservation Building Code 2017, they have identified, Ministry of Power, they have identified that you go for these softwares. So these are the softwares: EcoSim, Design Builder, DOE2, Energy Plus, Equest, HAP, IDA, ICE, IESVA, Open Studio, Simiri, Terrace 700, Transy, and Visual DOE. So Equest is a free version available on the website, and as a student you can go for. And as a SUNIT, we have purchased IESVE, and this software is a costly software, but they give as academic institute, they give the cost to cost. So I advise that if you are from academic institute, you go for IES. Otherwise, Equest is whole to good, and every rating system organization they consider Equest, and that is the free version. So whichever is suitable, you go for, and it is recommended by ECBC. So their input data, their outcome, and their report is considered by all rating system organization. So as per your requirement, you just refer and you choose anyone. Then here, I want to thank you, Parul University, Parul Polytechnic Institute, Faculty of Engineering and Technology, especially Unnati Shah, Chandni Shah. They are the instrument for organizing this uh, webinar. And especially, I want to thank Jiten Khubani, and he is a person who are connecting you and me through this online platform. So UBS student team, Parul University, and my production team. In my production team, my son Pawan Chauhan is available, and he has prepared this PPT, and we have discussed a lot, and we have spent around about 1 month to organize all this PPT concept, and we made this. And at the end, I would like to thank all the participants, and they are, I can say, they are the green lovers, and that's why they are with us. So my request is we carry forward this movement of green building. So here, once again, I want to hand over this to Parul University organizer Unnati Shah, Chandni Madam. Now uh, I will
Thank
stop. I will stop this presentation so we can dialogue. Okay.
thank you so much, sir, for
Uh,
your valuable time and information on green building definitions, green building fundamentals, and green building principles and more. I would like to thank our principal, sir, Professor Jatin Vaidya, to provide endless support and motivation to take such kind of initiative. In behalf of Parul Polytechnic Institute, Parul University, I would like to thank all head of departments, faculties member and students. Last but not the least, thanks to all UBA coordinator, UBA member from different PI and our all participants. Thank you. Thank you very much.
okay, madam. So here, if you have any question is there, otherwise we close this open platform.
Okay, sir. How can sir implement we green buildings?
So my experience in SUNIT civil engineering building is made in 1961. So at present we are working for lighting. So we have changed the lighting fixtures. We have changed the tube light. Initially, it is kept in ceiling, but now we have lowered down this all the lights. So we can change the location of light. Second, we change the fixtures. Then we go for automation, and then we go for production. So we can save 20 to 30% light through planning, through designing, and through fixture selection. And at the end, we have to produce our own light. That is, solar is the best example. So that is the energy saving. Water saving, we are going to change the fixtures. So which the fixtures, and that is aerator is available. Then we can change the WC water tank. So we can save 3 liter per flush. We can change the urinal, waterless urinal. And then for filling of overhead water tank, we go for automation. And then we collect different water, bathroom water, wash basin water, WC water, and then we give treatment, and that water we can use for horticulture. And as soon as it is a 1 square kilometer area. So for horticulture, for irrigation, we can have a reuse water. So why we go for municipal water? So when we are technology and we are we are civil engineers, so through education we implement some innovative tool, and we can implement in our campus. So we can save 20 to 30% water at least. And then water conservation through boreholes, and there are so many techniques available. Then we go for plantation, irrigation, we can change irrigation system. So we can make our campus, we can make our building as a green building. So minimum we can save 20 to 30% with normal principal guideline. Thank you,
Okay,
madam.
okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Okay,
madam.
sir. Okay,
Okay,
sir.
okay. Thank you, madam.
Thank you so much again from UBA team.
Actually, thank you very much to Parul University. You people are
Yes,
working. You people are working in a team, and is a very good I mean, coordination among university and staff and technical staff, supporting staff and student. And I always, when we check Facebook, there are so many programs from Parul University. So
yes, sir.
you have mark one benchmark, and it is difficult to achieve for all other university. So thanks to Parul University. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. And
Okay,
thank-
okay. I can I close this
yes,
room?
sir.
Okay, okay,
Yes,
okay.
sir.